Hello, my name is Kevin and welcome to the Love Decanters channel. So I was recently on holiday in Germany and near the Baltic coast, and there was an antique shop I went to. I'm going to get this right. It's the Kunst und Antiquitatenhandel Albrecht. Yeah, which is art and antiques trade Albrecht. And in Zinnowitz. Yeah, I'll write that down for you. But anyway, they were very nice in there because I just went on spec and asked, can I film in here? And they were quite happy to let me do it. And so, yeah, and how did this go for me? It's one of the hardest videos I've made, so, because it's Germany. I don't know that much about Germany, and or no, I don't know that much about German glass, I should say. And when I'm out and about doing the stuff that I normally do, I know a lot of the UK makers, so there's a good percentage of them that I know, and also the old stuff where we don't know the makers, we'll never know the makers, but I know about it, and I can always just off the top of my head, and I know what references to look up and everything. So, but this is Germany. So the old stuff, I've spent hours ploughing through catalogues that I can find. I've also bought a book while I was there on German glass, which has been averagely hopeless. And yeah, so this is part one. There's going to be a part two. Yeah, so let's get on and have a look at some German glass in a German antique shop up on the Baltic coast. Hey, doesn't get any better than that. So I'm on holiday, I'm in Germany, I'm on the Baltic coast. This is Zinnowitz, and yeah, I'm at the Kunsthandel Antiquitaten. So yeah, and they have some, I've had a quick look around, they have some really nice glass. I don't know all of it, a lot of it is German. So yeah, this is going to be quite interesting. So let's get on and have a look at the glass. So this is what the shop is like. As you can see, there's plenty of glass. It's really tightly packed in. And yeah, there's lots of pictures. Yeah, so I'm going to have to be selective about what I show. So yeah, but there are some really interesting things here. So they got this out for me to have a look at. So it's very like the Christopher Dresser designs. Can you see here? The base of the handle is different. This is German silver. It's got the 800 mark here. But the way this top is like this, can you see? And this, and the shape of the bottle is very similar. In fact, I have a plated bottle very like this. This is pillar molded, I think, or is it pillar cut? I think it's pillar molded. The one I have is got similar kind of cutting, but not quite the same. So I'll show you that. So let me explain something. I was babbling on there about Christopher Dresser and it being like this, blah blah blah. So this is the claret jug that I have that's closest in appearance initially to the one that we were looking at. In that, yeah, it's got this, but this is cut. Let me show you close up. Can you see? It's difficult to tell, but this is cut glass. Got a star cut base. It's also got these panel cuts just here. The one that we were looking at in Germany, the German one, this collar sat right down here, and it was a little bit longer, but yeah, overall it was a bit shorter. This one though is plate, and in actual fact, all the plate is gone, because what you're looking at is the nickel underneath, just nicely polished up by me. So yeah, and it's unmarked, this one. It's got a number on there, but there's no maker or anything. I don't know who made this one. What I do know is this is a copy of a design by Hughes and Heath, and they were the people that commissioned Christopher Dresser to design this. You can see I was also pointing out how the handle was at the back, and it just so happens, so this one is plate, This one is solid silver and it's hallmarked for Hooken and Heath. And yeah, it's just the same design. You can see it's got the plate and everything. It's got the, can I show it more clearly anywhere? Yes, if I hold it here, see if I can get it to focus. You can see just here is the H&H hallmark for Hooken and Heath. Yeah, so this is, although it doesn't have this ribbing on, this is a plain one. I've also got quilted ones as well, so I think I've got 4 like this. I've got 2 Hooken and Heath ones, 2 copies. But anyway, yeah, so that's what I was talking about. This is a Christopher Dress original. You can see how the handle is and everything. This is a copy which is very close. I've got another copy that's not quite as close, and I've got a quilted one that's like this. So, yeah, it's all over the place. But anyway, I will do a video on the Christopher Dress stuff I've got and show you some of the stuff that's copies, etc., etc. But yeah, so this is what I'm talking about. This looks like a lovely 18th century glass here, German one. Look at the shallow cutting. This is really nice glass. I really quite like that. And it's got a folded foot, and I presume, yeah, it has a broken pontle. It's 230 euros, which is kind of what I would expect. I would buy that if I was really looking for continental glass. So I bought that glass in the end. It is really out of my comfort zone. I didn't know how much it should be. My wife could see that I really liked it, and she said, seeing as we haven't bought any glass on this holiday yet, you should get that glass. I know you like it. So here it is in my sweaty hands. And you can see it's a decent size. It's not like it's like a little tiny thing. And for compared to English wine glasses of the period, it's a decent sized bowl. It's lightish. I'm not actually, let me just double check how much. It's got some lead in it, but it's not got a particularly high lead content. The stem is a bubble inside that faceting. There is a broken pontle under here, but it's very difficult to feel. You just about feel it there. It is quite broken off quite nicely from the bottle, but you can actually, from the base, but you can feel it there. Then it's got this folded foot, which is to protect the rim of the foot from getting chipped. And then, yeah, the cutting is absolutely fantastic. So I've been trying to research it a little bit, try and find the value, etc., etc. He said it was 18th century, and I have found something close to it. It's very difficult to find UK references for this kind of glass, but I found something close-ish. So let's go and have a look at the reference that I have. So I've come to Scottish Antiques because they deal in this kind of glass, and they keep a record of everything that they've actually sold. And so yeah, so there's loads of it. There's like 5 pages of this stuff, and this is the closest one to it I've found. Now I've found others which have got features like it, and they all seem to indicate first half of the 18th century. So we've got 1730 on this one. Let's go in and have a look. The differences on this one, obviously the pattern's not exactly the same. The one I have has this bit here is straight. This is more flat facets here on this bit here, and the glass has less of a waste here, but the type of cutting it is the same. The way this is the same. The foot is the same. A lot of the later 18th century ones don't have a folded foot, but the way this is, the general feet shape of this, and the way it blends into the foot like this is the same. And the cutting is the same. So I feel like, yeah, this is its ballpark, so to speak, roughly. They're saying this is from Saxony, which is East German, east of modern day Germany. It's got some, and what's nice is I think this is a similar size to what I have. I think it is. It's a little bit bigger, not massively so. But yeah, £425. I think me paying €200 for mine, I think it's not as big as this, but I think that feels like a right price. I don't think I'm going, and I've looked at loads of others on here, and the price feels like it's a goodish price. So I didn't get robbed because I didn't know what I was doing. So yes, I think I've got a nice souvenir that I'm very happy with, and there's lots of these glasses. Yeah, it's difficult because it's the kind of thing, yeah, I could get into this, but obviously I can't afford it. This one's similar-ish as well, but not quite, but yeah, same time period. And yeah, this is such a good site and there's another one that's similar-ish. There's no price on it though. So, but yeah, it's still in the same time period. Another one that's similar-ish, same time period, and it's all, these are Saxon. So it makes me think, yeah, maybe that's where it's from. So yeah, so this is a good site. You just have to flick through it and see what you can find, really. But yeah, it has helped me fix a time period and make me feel comfortable about the price that I've paid. So for champagne flutes here, they have a cartouche with egg and dark pan. Yeah, these are similar to sort of English, except for the feet, I should say. I think also Norwegian, some it's not focusing, some Norwegian glass is similar to this, so that's quite interesting. I'll try and see if I can find something that's similar to that. I might go through the Glas Musterbusch website, see if I can find anything for it. This is the glasmusterbusch.de website, and I've really tried very hard to find glasses like those ones with the sort of like swept down square base, tall bowl, etc., etc. It's not a form that you see in the UK, so we don't really see those. So yeah, I know that they're continental of some kind. So this site has got catalogues from lots of different countries: Belgium, that's Czech, Bulgaria, Denmark. It's a German website, so it has dozens of German ones. If I just click on this one, like this one here, it's got all of this. And I've been going through some of the older ones because on the continent, a lot of companies were doing traditional glass that looks Georgian into the early 20th century and sometimes beyond. So I thought, I'll have a good plough through this. I'm not that familiar with German glass, but I'll have a dig through and see if I can find any glasses of that form. And the answer is no, I can't. Now, I did know at least some continental ones. I went to Costa because I've got some older catalogues of theirs. These are from the Bergala Glass Technique website. And yeah, so if you look here, here's a glass here. Now it doesn't have, it's got a longer stem, foot and stem, and a shorter bowl, but yeah, you can see it's got this swept foot here, square foot, and this one as well. And this is from 1931, so by now they're looking at, if I go through this catalogue, there's lots of older, I mean look, this is harking back to the Middle Ages, and so is this one here. So you've got like a lot of
glass that's copying older ages, you know. So like these are like copying stuff from the late 18th century, I think. And also, if I went to 1931, I've got this. So this is a pattern that you see in some of the sort of like early 19th century, but this is now 1933. But you can see the foot, the swept foot, square foot, and then the little collar, and then the thing. So these are kind of like, if there was like a champagne one or a Pilsner glass version of this, this would be right, but I can't find any in Germany. Now, I don't know if that means nobody made any copies that I've got catalogues in, or if it's like this. This is from Sweden. I think the Home Guard ones have it as well. So I think also the Danes were making it, and we were fairly close to Denmark. I don't know. I know it's a Scandinavian shape, but I can't find it in any. And I did buy a book on German glass as well, and that failed me too. So it is what it is. I thought while I'm about it, I'd show you something while I was looking at that egg and dart frieze. Okay, so this is a glass. This is on my own website. This is a glass from my own collection. It's English. It's dated 1785. And if I show you this here, look, this is the same frieze that was on the. So that frieze has, been around a while, and it pushes the date. So if that base was rounded, not square, I'd have gone, circa 1800, and they were still using this frieze at that time, and it was fashionable, which is why I was interested in that, because you're looking for those different features to try and help you date things. But obviously on the continent, a lot of things kept running on for quite a bit longer, and that makes it very hard for me to date things.
So very nice. I think this one's a dog decanter. I think these are early 19th century. Really interesting. The tail is hollow, and where the legs are bent round to give it stability as it's made. Check it out. I'll see if I can find any dog decanters as well. This book is The Decanter, An Illustrated History of Glass from 1650 by Andy McConnell. So it's got a little range of creatures on here. We've got this bear, which is kind of like the same type of folk art, you could say. This is from 1675. Then you've got these little things up here. He says these are 18th century, and then you're working your way through the 19th century. So yeah, it is very difficult to pin those things down. And in fact, actually, there's also another dog, pig, I don't know, it's saying pig here, that is very similar as well in the Costa 1920, I think, or 1928 catalogue. So yeah, so you got them from these types of things coming from 1675 through to probably 1930s. Yeah, very difficult to pin down the exact age of what you're looking at, especially when you've got ones like this with the same kind of one streak, hollow tail, bent under legs, and then you've got a later one here. Very difficult to work it out. A couple of interesting vases at the top here. This one looks a bit like a Stromberg-Seiten design. The colour's not quite right for that. Don't recognise this one, but that's quite interesting. Let's see if I can find that, see if I can find anything similar to that. So I know multiple companies make panelled vases like that blue one we were looking at, and I've been ploughing through my Scandinavian catalogues trying to find
the closest one. And actually, in fact, the one that I found is my old favourite, Strombergsheiten. It's this one here, B87, but it isn't this one. I'm not sure that one had panels cut around the base. I think it might have just been a plain base. Also, the angle of this is a bit too wide, slightly too wide. These panels, I think, are slightly too big. And also, I know that Strombergsheiten didn't. Their blue was much paler, so it's not them. It's like it, and if you were to see them together, you'd see they were probably similar-ish. From the same family of type of vase, but not exactly the same. So this is from 1954. This catalogue. I think they are in the 1930s Elverson catalogue as well. So that vase could be anything from the 1930s onwards. I know Orifers also did panel vases and bowls in the 1930s as well, but not one. I couldn't find one like that. So yeah, and I think they were probably made in other countries. I think France might have been doing similar types of stuff as well. So very difficult vase to pin down because so many companies were making that, and they don't stand out away enough to be in the reference books. So yeah, we are where we are with it, and it's mid-century, probably from the 1930s through to the 1950s when that style of panel cutting was popular. This is nice. And the quality of the cutting with the bird and everything coming down on a cased background. Yeah, I don't recognise it at all, but it is nice. Yeah, I'm clearly failing badly with this video because it's so out of my normal regime, stuff that we don't see in the UK. I thought I'd show you this. This is the Strombergsheiten 1970 catalogue, and yeah, so if you look at this, is the only one catalogue I know of that's got the sort of like layout of all the little engravings that they do. So these engravings would be put on multiple different vase bodies or bowl bodies. So there's no ducks on it. There's a couple of seagulls, but some of them, no, there's ducks, but not quite the same. Another one, ducks. This is ducks with foliage, ducks without foliage. None there. More ducks flying. I think that they look more like geese, but I know there are more ducks on here than this. So ducks seem to have been a favourite around 1970 because there are several pictures. Look, there's another duck there. No, that's just a different bird. I'm sure there was another duck somewhere. Different birds. Another different bird flying down. Little row of geese. And more birds flying over. Anyway, you get the idea. It was a common motif. I've seen them around on a few different things, different kinds of birds and stuff. Ducks are not that uncommon if you were to sort of like put them all together. I've had a quick punt through eBay. Well, I did a search, Google search, and I found this one, which is the closest looking duck. So with the head bent down, tail is very similar, and the wings. The foliage is a bit different. The feet are very similar. So this is Costa Boda. So, which means it's post mid-70s. Also for Costa, I think it's this one here. This is this Costa one as well, and it's a similar shape. And is this one? No, not that one. That's a different one. No, let me go back here. So if we look back here, you can see there are other ones which are similar shape. So I don't know. So this is a similar shape to what we're looking at with a different shaped ducks on. You could go on and on looking, which I have done, and I haven't been able to pin it down exactly, but there's a decent chance it's Costa Boda or it's somebody copying them, or they're someone they've copied. That's all I can say. But it does, the time period looks to be probably around the 60s or 70s.
Look at these flutes. So this shows you how international a lot of glass is. Yeah, we have a flute that's very like this. I'll have to ping it out or take it out and ping to see if it's lead glass or not. But in England, these would be from sort of like 1810 onwards. But here I think they're a bit later. But yeah, it's the same kind of bladed knob, caps and base there, and panel cutting. This book is Decanters and Glasses by Therle Hughes. And yeah, and this bit here is a pattern book from Edinburgh and Leith from 1811. And if I zoom in a bit, move it a bit across, this glass here it's got the same bladed knob, little collar, conical glass. It doesn't have panel cutting, but yeah, very similar to what we were looking at. And this is the earliest date in the UK that I have for this type of glass, but also the last date for this type of glass I have in the UK is 1855. So I know that they were made in the continent until much later, and in fact I know they were also made in Scandinavia. I think Hadland made them, and I actually found a German reference. So let's go and have a look at our German reference.
This is the glasmusterbuch.de website, and we're looking at the catalogue for Krug and Mundt of Leipzig, 1906. And something really funny here, Service Anglais. And look here, here is the glass. This is very it could be the same glass. Now I know lots of people were making these types of glasses. I could go into other catalogues. In fact, I think I didn't get it open. Yeah, look, where has it gone? Yeah, this one here. This is Costa Boda, well, Costa from 1928, I think this is. But anyway, let's go back to, and you can see there's all the different sizes as well. And we see these in the UK as well. And normally, if these were in the UK, we would go because saying, oh yeah, 1820 to 1830, that kind of date, because you've seen that one from 1811. They weren't cutting panels on them at that time, but yeah, within 10 or so years they were. So yeah, I was actually able to figure something out on this one.
So I hope you enjoyed that. As I said, it was quite difficult doing this one. I have learned a lot because I have spent literally hours ploughing through German catalogues. Yeah, so with that said, the contact details for, I'll just say Albrecht, will be in the description below. What else? References I used will be in the description below as well. And thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Have a good night. Good night.